Hi you guys, welcome back to A Creatively Crafted Life. This is Melanie and this is part 2 of the January-February Blitz Your Kitz collaboration. This is where we use a kit from our stash, either a kit that was already pre-assembled, which is in my case I'm using the February 2022 SCT sampler kit, or you could create a kit from your stash focusing on older items in an effort to use them up. So in January's video, I shared with you the kit that I had put together, which was again the SCT sampler kit, and I had also included a couple other items thinking I might need them to supplement. One was this package of scraps, and to be honest, I did not even open these. So I didn't bash this, but that wasn't the goal. And then I also had this sticker sheet, which you can see I have used up some, but not all. So these are going back into my stash. From the kit itself, I've got the card still. I like to use these cards as prompts for mini albums. I have a couple of them already done. I will leave a link at the end of this video to at least one of them. So if you're interested, you could check that out. And this is all that I have left from that particular kit. So I have the foam heart word, which I just couldn't make work. So this is going to go into my stash. And then these are all the little scrap paper bits I have, and I used up the doodle pops. And there were two other die cuts in here. One says kisses and the other set is the heart. Glasses, they're not my thing, so I won't use them. And these are all going in recycling. What else did I pull from my stash to make these cards? I used a couple punches, so I was excited about that. I pulled in some sequins, and I probably used about half this package, which is very exciting. I used the heart dies, and I used some glitter washi tape, and I also used some of these doodle pops. So you can see there's empty space here from stuff that I pulled from my stash. I think that's it. I think those are all the extras. So what did I make? I made 20 cards. I made this stack using the Doodlebug one, so we'll talk about those here quickly. A bunch of these are basically the same design, and I tend to do that when I'm blitzing a kit, mass producing, that kind of thing, is to repeat the same design. It just speeds things up. So these ones here, I was going for bulk use of the cardstock, and all I did was cut out a heart and then did a shaker pocket. And then in this case, I kept it really simple and just used the die cut from the kit. Same deal with this one. This one was also a die cut. These are all just shakers die cut. I added a little bit of twine, which I did not mention. Again, another die cut and another die cut. Super simple, but I think quite cute. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. There was also 3 tags that came with the kit, and I used the tag as a layering element. Okay, so that is the first tag, the pre-printed tag that I used. And then I had some extra scraps that I turned into tags, so I did the exact same design basically, except instead of doing a vertical die cut, I just had some scraps that I trimmed into a banner. And again, used one of the doodle pops. Same deal, scrap again. And here's a fourth one. This particular tag was one of the pre-printed ones, had more of a horizontal orientation, so I went with that. This little ladybug was from my stash, and that's what's nice about using other items from Doodlebug, is the colors translate across. And then the last tag was the cute little bear, and I used up a bunch of scraps to do the background, and again stamped a sentiment. And then the last card featuring Doodlebug, I still had 2 of those hearts left over, so I thought I would layer them, one big scrap. This is a doodle pop that was in my stash, and I thought because there was a little bit of green showing through there, I could get away using the frog. And then a banner that I cut from some scraps, and the little enamel heart. That was another 7 cards. So 13 cards in total from the Doodlebug paper. Okay, so that leaves then 7 cards from the Simple Stories. I started off right away using the 3x4 cards. I actually layered 2 of them on top of each other. This one had all the heart eyes or hard eyes for you or something like that, which is not really a saying I would use. So I figured I would use it as a mat for this card. I added one of those foam thickers that I pulled in from my stash just to add a little bit of dimension to this card. One other thing to note is quite often use little bits of scraps and stuff left over to do some sort of element on the inside of the card. This was a die cut, but I'll show you what I mean here. With this one, I actually added a piece of paper. And it's just a little something, right? You could jazz this up with another image. You could use a border punch, but I just kept it simple. So this one here was the 4x6 card that had the note line note section on it. So I trimmed that off and then I added a scrap to make it back to a 3x4. I added a foam heart on top of the heart that was on here, and I also added the XOXO. This is a super simple card. I let the background paper really shine with a band to kind of make the sentiment stick out a little bit. The sentiment is from the foam stickers, and this is from the die cuts that I had in my kit. One of my favorite designs, card designs, is to use a full background of cardstock and then some sort of band or stripe down one side. I had a little piece of this text paper left, so I thought I'd add that on here just to help make the images pop. And then these are 2 of the foam. This one came in the kit, and this is from my stash, and then also a little heart. And I added a band of color on the side, a color cardstock on the side. Similar design. The only difference is I shifted the band over and I added some washi tape, but other than that, it's basically the same concept. And then on the inside, this is one I jazzed up a little bit more by adding one of those foam stickers with the sentiment. Again, just letting the paper do most of the work. I had a little bit of scrap that I used a border punch with, and then that gold washi, and then the Love You is from my stash. And this is one of the die cuts that were in the kit. Here's the other half of that 4x6 card. So that typewriter card, this is the other half. I used this to just give me a little bit more of a neutral background. I was finding that the flowers were getting lost in the background here, so that helps to kind of pop it up. I only had 2 flowers, so I trimmed one in half and I popped half here and half over here, and this extra leaf I pulled from the cardstock. I just fussy cutted that out. There's 2 banners here, the blue and the pink. The blue again said something about heart eyes. You already know I didn't care for that, so I just layered them up. And this was also from the foam stickers that I received in my kit. And again, just another little band of cardstock on the inside. So that is it for this first go round in Blitz Your Kitz. I hope you're inspired. I highly encourage you to pull out a kit from your stash and blitz it next month. Be sure to check in on March 15th, where I'm going to feature the next kit that I'm going to be using for the next 2-month period. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Be sure to check the other collaborators, and until next time, happy crafting.